This is the HomeTech Podcast for Friday, January 22nd from Denver, Colorado. I'm Jason Griffin.
And from Sarasota, Florida, I'm Seth Johnson. Jason, what's going on?
It's Inauguration Day, so we got that going for us.
Yeah. So I took a couple minutes to watch it today. It was fun. Lady Gaga was there. She was dressed like she was attending a Hunger Games ceremony. That's what I
like
thought.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah, she was really good though. Like the music numbers were awesome.
Yeah. I saw some tweets about that. I unfortunately did not plan well. Had some things going on at work that I was not able to pull away from, so I was not able to watch it today. But I'm sure I can
Catch the highlights.
find it streaming tonight, and I'll find the highlights and saw a number of tweets go by. So Seth, I'm just hoping that now we can get back to like just kind of typical partisan bickering.
Yeah, just the normal state of politics in the U.S.
Yeah, kind of gives you a new sense of appreciation, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, you know how like, but like, you know how like you go into a bar and people are just like talking about sports and they're just like really into sports. It's been like that with politics. And I'm like, maybe not. Maybe we could just tone it down a little bit and just,
right.
Yeah, we're all on the same team. We're literally all on the same team. And we like to get in our little tribes and do our little, chants for whatever. And
unfortunately, yeah, that is true.
Yep. But it'll be nicer. I'm hoping it'll be nicer and calmer. Calmer is what I'm looking for. Calm.
Yeah,
calmness.
that's the thing. I think, I just hope I was just glad nothing crazy happened today. And I hope that cooler heads can prevail. It just feels like things have been escalating, and yeah, that's not good for anyone. So hopefully calmer times are ahead.
Yep. Well, you know what is good for everyone?
HomeTech Headlines.
You got it.
Let's do it.
Integrators kept trucking along in 2020 amid the chaos with 11.5% growth and a remarkable resilience, according to CE Pro 2021 State of the Industry study. There you go, State of the Union. See, I'm letting politics slip into the,
I heard that.
the HomeTech headlines. The pandemic added jet rocket fuel, quote, jet rocket fuel, to some trends that were already well underway, such as the need for enterprise-grade home networks for streaming entertainment and work from home and distance learning scenarios. But COVID-19 situation it can also take away. The pandemic threw a giant wet blanket on other trends that were promising heading into 2020, such as corporate office and bar restaurant projects.
Yeah, indeed. So some interesting numbers here from CE Pro's State of the Industry, not State of the Union, State of the Industry study. The median revenue for a custom installation company was $1.3 million. That represents an 11.5% growth from 2019.
It's wild.
So that's a pretty big jump there. Article goes on to say, parsing out that total median revenue figure of, again, 1.3 million, it says about 68% of that comes from residential installation, both equipment and labor, on a median of 55 projects. Goes on to talk about 17% of revenues came from commercial installation. And then I was surprised to see this number, 15% from ongoing service and monitoring revenues. It's actually higher than I thought it would be, but it was only a 1% increase from last year. So all in all, pretty good year overall. We've talked about that on the show. Definitely, I know all of us in the industry feel pretty fortunate to have been in the position we were this year.
And tired and fortunate and tired.
Yeah, exactly. On that note, regarding staffing, it said for most integrators, there were no cutbacks at all. 3/4 of the dealers surveyed, 75% of them said they did not reduce staff hours during COVID-19. Also, 71% of dealers never stopped working at all. There was no pause in business activity whatsoever.
That seems about right from my perspective and what we saw kind of through our, we're national distributor, and a lot of our guys, some guys were like, we're at home, we can't go out anywhere. There are many states that really didn't have any lockdown, or if they did, the integrators were classifying themselves as essential and just kept plugging away at whatever was out there and upgrading home networks, because I think that's what everybody did this year. Holy cow, home networking.
Yeah, Indeed. Well, shifting from there, speaking of the pandemic here, some news related. In-person CEDIA training will restart at CEDIA's Fishers, Indiana headquarters beginning in March. The association has been providing only remote virtual training since the onset of the pandemic in early 2020. The live training will be for the newly revamped certifications announced by the association earlier this year. The first CEDIA training course held in person will be the CEDIA Cabling and Infrastructure Technician School, and that'll be March 10th through 12th, 2021.
Very cool. It goes on to say that it's a little bit of a hybrid. So there's some instruction that takes place online, of course, and then you get in there and you get to do your hands-on training, which is where you learn everything. Because that's, in my experience, at least with me, like I'm going to use a Jason Griffin where I'm tactile. Like I've got to put my hands on something before I really understand kind of what's going on with it and how it all pieces together. And once I do, it's on. So like this, I think this is a great path. Like you get the basic like high level overview from what you should be doing, and you got a little bit of knowledge going into there, and then you can go in and get all the good details. Put your hands on, get the work done.
Yeah. They've got a second in-person training, the Integrated Systems Technician. That'll be March 15th through the 19th. So interesting to see them going back. I know here in Colorado, we've got a lot of schools shutting back down again, going back remote. So it's just on again, off again. But hopefully with the vaccine slowly making its way out there, we'll start to flatten that curve finally.
Yep. Well, not in Florida. We're not interested in flattening the curve.
You guys are your own animal down there.
Well, speaking of Colorado, the Consumer Technology Association has named Harrison Home Systems of Lakewood, Colorado, as 2021 CTA Smart Home Integrator of the Year. The award recognizes the premier electronic system contractor in the industry. It's the most prestigious award in the 2021 Smart Home Mark of Excellence Awards program, and recognizing the best in custom installation, which this year were presented during the Digital CES 2021. Jason, I recognize this company's name.
Yeah. I have a personal connection to this. The listeners to the show will probably know I worked at Harrison Home Systems for a couple of years before joining the team at One Vision. And George and Casa, I know, have worked really hard to grow their business. They had over 100% growth in 2019. I know that they've really been doing well with the condo market here in Denver. That's been a big area of growth. So they were very successful with some of the big luxury condo developments here in the city that have been very popular. And I just wanted to send a big congratulations to them. I know George listens to the show occasionally. And so George, if you're tuned in, congratulations. Really great job.
Yeah, I have to get him on one of these days. I always tried to break into that condo market and never was successful, but it looks like he had a couple of really good ideas, like customized websites for each condo development where you could like have the customized packages put in. I was doing something like this, but more analog. Like it would be like a book that I would have printed up that had all the custom packages in it. But a website seems a lot more smart, smart thing to do.
Yeah. I've stayed good friends with a guy named Matt who still works there, and he actually showed me the website. Would have been probably a year and a half ago now, and it was really cool what they had put together.
Yeah.
So I know they've worked really hard and well deserved. Congratulations to them.
Yep. Congrats, guys.
The Trump administration has added Xiaomi to the U.S. military list under the National Defense Authorization Act of 1999. The department is determined, quote, the department is determined to highlight and counter the People's Republic of China military civil fusion development strategy, which supports the modernization goals of the People's Liberation Army by ensuring its access to advanced technologies and expertise acquired by those PRC companies, universities, and research programs that appear to be civilian entities. Xiaomi, however, denies its connection to the Chinese military and said that it will take steps to protect the company and its shareholders.
Yeah, so this isn't a big story right now, but it could be a big story later on down the road. Because this gives this kind of classification kind of blacklists the company, and American investors will have to start selling their shares off as it's been added to this blacklist. So I'm wondering how long this kind of lasts, because there's a lot of companies that do use Xiaomi's technology or services to build their products out. I want to say that Wasn't it? What is the company that we always talk about? Wise? Don't they use a lot of Xiaomi product?
Yeah, I know at least that early on, some of their early products at least did. Not sure how much they still do now, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a connection there.
It will be very interesting to see what happens here. So, or if it's reversed. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of months with everything. I mean, this is kind of like an administration level type decision that can be made outside of the halls of Congress. So it doesn't really take any kind of thing other than an executive order to kind of reverse these things. So now that the tides have changed, maybe they'll change directions on this too. But who knows? Maybe this is going to stick.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. Feels like kind of maybe a middle finger by Trump to China on his way out the door.
On the way out the door, right? It very well could be. Very well could be.
Hard to say. It's really hard to say these days. Hard to make sense of any of it.
Well, speaking of things that are hard to make sense of, it's not a very good transition, but I'm always confused about SmartThings at this point. So Samsung's bringing the SmartThings interface into the car. You'll be able to start or stop your engine of compatible vehicles with the SmartThings app and activate the heater or AC before you step inside your car. This feature won't arrive until at least the third quarter of 2021.
So I like that. At least.
Yeah.
At least the third quarter. That's the Bixby release strategy.
Yeah, where's my Bixby speaker thing? Where's that Galaxy speaker?
Did that ever come out? I feel like that totally fell off the radar.
It has fallen off the radar, and literally the only people that bring it back up are Samsung. And they're like, the last event they had where they showed off like a full stage of those Bixby speakers all grouped together playing the same thing, and like, look how awesome this is. And then nothing. Like they don't ship. They never materialize. As far as I know, they've never shipped anywhere.
Interesting.
The Samsung Galaxy Home, I think they're called.
Yeah. This story goes on to say the company has also teamed up with Google to bring the SmartThings dashboard to Android Audio. As such, you'll be able to control your smart home products or open your garage door from your dashboard after connecting it to a Samsung phone. So it also emerged at CES 2020 that they announced a partnership with SmartCar, apparently to bring the SmartThings app compatibility to most new cars in the U.S. starting in October.
It's an interesting idea. I do like this. I just like these types of things that integrate with cars, and especially technology in cars. It just seems like it's just not going to work. Like car technology is so far behind, and when you do find something that feels new, and like feels modern, there's always like super rough edges around it, especially as you get to start to get used. As you start to use it, like I have a little remote start app on my phone from Subaru, but it's just very clunky. It's not as easy as what you would think, and I often forget to use it. If it was just like a one-click thing or something that they could easily integrate with like Siri, why not? But they never have, because they're a car company. They're not a technology company. So I always worry about these things and how they'll appear, or if they'll ever appear, because this was a CES announcement, so just never know.
Yeah. So take it through the appropriate filter there. But I agree with you. Yeah, it feels like cars have really lagged behind in many respects. But there feels like there are some compelling use cases there. Nothing mind blowing, but the ability for your car and home to be a little bit more in sync about when you're coming and going, and sort of preferences and things like that. Maybe things like if you're, I don't know, listening to music in the house, if that could sort of carry over into the car, like little things like that could be kind of cool. It does seem like there's some opportunity there, but I agree with you. It does feel like car technology has generally lagged behind the home.
So I put over in our Slack chat we still haven't seen the Galaxy Home. A story from roughly a year ago now. It's February.
That's from back in February.
Yeah, February 14th.
Wow.
So, and then Eddie chimes in, what is that? So yeah, as soon as we get one of these things, as soon as they ship, it's going to go in the museum, because I don't think they'll ever ship. It's just been amazing to see. Right
next to your Facebook portal?
Next to the Facebook portal. Actually, yeah. to put them as like that'll be the showpiece that you'll there's a light shine down in the
That's
middle of
right.
the room.
That's right. All right. Well, moving on from there, Signify is introducing 3 new Philips Hue products today: an in-wall Hue module for existing light switches, a new outdoor light bar, and a refined dimmer. So we're going to talk about each one of these in turn a little bit. This Philips Hue wall switch sounds pretty cool. So it's this module. It really is designed to solve that problem that we've talked about before, where you go out and you put the smart light bulb in your fixture, and it's great. You're controlling it from your phone, and then your spouse or your roommate shuts the light switch off, and all of a sudden that smart light bulb is totally useless. So this is designed to plug into the wall. It's powered by a battery. This has a 5-year lifespan, and it puts the intelligence inside of the wall instead of only that intelligence only existing in the light bulb itself.
It's weird that it has a battery. There's a very similar product that exists out there, and we've talked a little bit about it in the hub from a company called Shelly. It's a European company, and they do have some UL listed product like this, and it gets its power from the switch itself.
Yeah.
And it's basically just a relay that you can, or actually they have a dimmer module now too, that you can stick inside the wall there, and like you said, when you flip the switch, the light acts normally, but you can also go over to your smartphone and flip the switch there. And while it can't physically flip the switch on the wall, the device that's the Shelly device is in there, and in this case, the Hue device is in there, can keep track of the state of the light and the switch independently and figure out, what it's supposed to do the next time somebody comes up and flips the switch on the wall. So it's a great, I think this is a great product. I think we should see more stuff like this out there, because I really like this idea that you can go ahead and just put these inside either the wall or behind the fixture and make something smart out of something that is out of something that's just normal. Like there's the light switch is a solved thing, and we've always talked about it. You expect to go up the wall and you flip the light and it works. This kind of builds into that, and you're not like putting some crazy looking Decora based dimmer in. It's just a switch. You flip the switch and it works.
Right. It says that Hue wall switch will cost $39.95 or $69.95 for a 2-pack. Launches in Europe this March, followed by North America in the summer. So actually we'll launch in Europe first and then make its way to North America later this year.
Yep. I mostly see these types of product. They've existed in Europe for a long time. There's a bunch of Z-Wave product, I think, that exists out there that's kind of the same form factor. So I'm glad to see a company as big as Philips and is pushing this form factor here into the States. This is going to be great.
Yeah. Another cool product, I think cool anyways, is the Philips Hue Amarant. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's a $169 light bar that can be installed outdoors to sort of bathe the side of the house or hedgerow in multicolored light. A little bit pricey, so it's not it's not a cheap thing to go out and buy, but I can looking at the pictures of this online, I can totally see this sort of thing in some of the nicer homes where you've got nice landscaping and you really want to add some nice colored accent lighting. I think this thing looks really cool.
Yeah, 1,400 lumens. I would say it's on par with what I would expect to pay for like a DMX controlled RGB fixture, like kind of the same type. Like I with having Philips integration and having the wireless control and everything, I would say it's probably reasonably priced, like giving everything that you get in the box for $150, $160, $70.
Yeah,
so not bad.
Agreed.
You get a nice little wall wash, put a couple of these outside, get some nice color on your walls.
Yeah,
good idea.
And then lastly, there's an upgrade to the magnetic Philips Hue dimmer switch with a detachable wall plate that lets you and your family and guests control Hue lighting without the app. So this is not it says, unlike the new in-wall module, the dimmer is a faux wall switch that adheres to any wall with tape. So this is just, I guess, to kind of add a tactile control for those Hue lights. Available starting January 26th in Europe and coming to North America February 23rd for $24.99.
It's like a giant Pico. That's the idea behind this.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's the pregnant Pico. This thing is huge, but and this is the exact kind of product I really don't care for, but it's not, I guess it's standalone. So it's nice, I guess, in the fact that you can, like, if you need a light switch over here, and you don't have it, you can stick this on the wall and be able to do like 3-way remote control of your light fairly easily.
Right.
Speaking of light switches, Jason, I'm looking over your shoulder.
Well, Seth, still in the packaging.
Still in the box. Hasn't made it out
Yeah.
yet. Okay. Just thought I'd do that once a week check-in with you.
Oddly enough, it's sitting exactly where it was when we talked last week.
It's got a dust ring around it. Very good.
I'm beyond help. So Anthony dropped an interesting one in the chat room here. A Moen shower head with aromatherapy.
Interesting.
I had not heard of this. I'm not sure if this is new this week or what, but it looks like it's like a shower head with like it's almost like a little Keurig style like insert that you put in there.
It is. Yeah.
You see that? And it says the Moen Aromatherapy hand showers are uniquely designed with the ability to infuse essential oils directly into the water flow to create an incredible and sensory shower experience when desired.
All right, then.
Greg, so many jokes. Get your mind out of the gutter, Greg.
Nope, it's already there. I'm already there with you, Greg. A little personal time in the shower.
Patented Inley technology allowing capsules to diffuse essential oils directly into your shower water with spa-inspired fragrances. This
looks very similar to the Nespresso things. I wonder if you can use the Nespresso pods and you get a nice little espresso shower.
You get your espresso and your shower
coffee
at the same time.
Caffeine, right? Through the skin.
That's brilliant. Might want to patent that.
I should
start thinking about domain names too.
Coffee shower. Wait, no, anything with shower in the name could get run up against Rule 34 pretty quickly. So no, we'll stay away from that one. Good for you, Moen.
Yeah, interesting. All right, well, that will do it for our headlines. All of the links and topics that we discussed on this week's show can be found in our show notes at HomeTech.fm/336. While you're there, don't forget to sign up for our weekly newsletter. We'll send you show reminders and other occasional updates from here in the world of home tech. Once again, that link is HomeTech.fm/336.
And don't forget, you can join us in the chat room live Wednesdays starting sometime between 7:30 p.m. Eastern. You can find out more about how to do that at HomeTech.fm/live. No mailbag this week, but we do have a pick of the week this week.
We do.
What you got?
Sneaking in under the wire here. Just wanted to give a quick plug to the CE Pro podcast. Episode 39 just published. So this is an episode that I was privileged to go join along with our CEO there, Joey Kolchinsky. And he and I went on to really talk about enabling change in your company and embracing kind of a service-first business model. So I had a really fun conversation with Arlen over there at CE Pro. There's a nice video they've put together. So you got the video or audio options. Just wanted to give that a quick plug. Go check it out. It's a topic that we think about a lot and have done quite a bit to try to get that message out there and sort of get people thinking differently about ways to push their business forward. So go check that out.
Yeah, we got to get that number up over 1% next year. It's got to go up.
Indeed. Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity out there, and we definitely get into that on the podcast. So if you're one of the home tech pros in our audience, definitely go check that out. We will include a link in our show notes.
If you have any feedback, questions, comments, picks of the week, or great ideas for the show, give us a shout. Our email address is feedback@hometech.fm, or you can visit hometech.fm feedback and fill out the online form.
And as we do every week, we want to give a big thank you to everyone who supports the show, but especially to those of you who are able to financially support our efforts through our Patreon page. To learn more, head on over to hometech.fm/support and learn how you can support the podcast for as little as $1 a month. Any pledge over $5 will give you a big shout out on air, but every pledge will get you an invite to our private Slack chat, The Hub, where you and other supporters of the show can gather every day for conversations about Keurig showers.
Oh boy. Here we go. Here we go. And if you want to help the show, but you can't support the show financially, we'd appreciate leaving a 5-star review on iTunes or a positive rating in the podcast app of your choice.
Absolutely.
Anthony says our Reddit, the Reddit subreddit Zune, should be our pick. And I'm going to have to go check this out to see what this is about. The Zune media player from the Microsoft Zune. Do you remember this thing? It was like...
I do.
Around the iPod era. This is a while back.
Small, die-hard community dedicated to the legacy of the Zune. I had totally forgotten about this.
It's one of those pop culture references that you see from time to time. You're like, yeah, everybody was like, oh, you got to have a Zune. Who's got a Zune? And like everybody already had iPod at that point. There was no reason to buy a Zune. Yeah,
Brown
wild.
Zune for the win, Ron. Totally.
Yeah, they came in different colors. Yeah.
Zune tattoo guy.
Oh, boy.
Well, yeah, there you go. A little blast from the past. Go check that one out.
Well, Jason, that wraps up another week in home technology news. What you got any big plans this weekend?
Weather permitting, I'm going to try to get out and do some fishing, actually. Try to get out once a month, and this is my weekend, so I haven't checked the weather, but we're hoping for that. And we actually, totally not related to this weekend, but we're enjoying some quiet down here. Seth, I wanted to mention to you, you might have an easier time editing my audio, and here's the reason why. Last week, the night after you and I recorded, our furnace died.
Oh.
And it was an old furnace, and I know you probably heard it a million times in your editing. It was a beast. It was like 25 years old. And so we were prepared. We knew it was coming. We had the money set aside, and it kind of forced the issue. So we got a brand new furnace put in last week, and it is amazingly quiet compared to the one I had before.
Now that you say that, I did hear it come on quite often, and it wasn't a big deal because I run some audio processing over both of our audio to keep that kind of noise out. But I could see it in the waveforms and everything where something would kick on from time to time.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I always thought it was you remember a while back you had like a heater or something like that you were talking about, like maybe it was an oil heater or something like that.
Oh, the space heater.
The space heater. I thought that was what was causing it, because usually it was around the cold times of year. So yeah.
Yeah. No. That space heater is totally silent. It was our big furnace, which is like, I know we're audio only, but right
there, yeah.
there, like 10 feet behind me. And it was a beast. And we were just kind of squeezing every last year that we could out of it, and finally bit the dust. And so again,
of course, in the middle of, well, I guess they only die in the middle of the winter, because
that's right.
Who would ever catch? Well,
you wouldn't even know,
dying?
Right? Yeah. If it died in the summer. So anyways, we got it replaced really quickly, and wasn't a huge deal, but hopefully it'll make your editing life a little easier.
Yeah. No, I can uncheck the remove audio anomalies from Jason's
there you go.
Jason's audio this week.
And Greg, yes, the furnace does actually exist. Somebody else installed it.
Somebody else.
So
hire a pro.
So it got done very quickly.
That is funny.
Of course, I didn't really have much of a choice because our house was like, 58 degrees. It was freezing in here.
That would not last well over here. I mean, we have pretty thin blood here in Florida.
Indeed.
And it can get down to like 70, and then there are problems. People are really cold in my house.
All hell breaks loose.
Yeah. The blankets are coming out, space heaters are coming out, and it's like it's only 70. The heater's on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, anyways, what about you? Plans for this weekend?
Nothing big going on, no. Hopefully I can get some relaxation in after I actually had a weekend warrior job to go help somebody out with a project they had going on in the Keys. So I ran down there, did some work, and it cleaned up an amazingly old HAI/RTI project. Ripped it all out, put new networking in, new control floor gear, hung 4 TVs. Like
wow.
I was busy. Yeah, so I'm hoping this weekend I can relax a little bit.
Good. Kick your feet up. All right. Well, I hope you enjoy your weekend. We'll wrap up here. Short show this week. We'll be back next week. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yep. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next week.